Hello, my friend. Welcome to the Money is Emotional podcast. I am your host, Christine Luken. Today's episode is called The 4 Elements of Money. And this one is deeply personal for me because it's a journey that I have lived. For centuries, earth, water, air, and fire have been used to describe the fundamental forces of nature in our world, and also our human nature, the physical, emotional, intellectual, and spiritual sides of us. Over the last 2 decades of working with clients and doing my own inner work, I've realized something. These 4 elements also describe the full spectrum of our relationship with money. Now, what's interesting, but probably not surprising, is most financial experts only focus on 1 or 2 of these elements. And I know this is true because when I first got started as a financial coach, I did too. This episode is going to walk you through not only the 4 elements of money, but also the 4 versions of me that had to evolve in order to fully understand them. Because each level unlocked a deeper sense of financial dignity, both for me and for my clients. So as you listen today, I want you to think about your own journey with money as I describe each element. Where do you feel strong? Where do you feel a little sticky? And what might be the next level that's calling you forward? Let's start where most people begin, with the first element, earth. Earth represents the physical and practical side of money. So when we think about personal finance, like this one's a no-brainer. When I first became certified in this work, I was all about helping people with the numbers. And back then, I introduced myself as Christine Luken, Dave Ramsey Certified Financial Counselor. With my background in accounting and my natural talent for spotting patterns, I was and still am spectacular with the numbers. In fact, this is the part of my profession that I can pretty much do in my sleep. I have no doubt whatsoever that I can go in and look at my clients' numbers and find the opportunities, find the issues, and create a plan for them to get to a place of financial safety, stability, and peace. This part of the work still matters to me. It is foundational. You can't succeed with money if you have all the other elements I'm going to be talking about mastered, but not this one. It just doesn't work. So the earth element of your money includes the things that you would expect: cash flow planning, otherwise known as the budget, debt reduction, saving, investing, and other somewhat boring but necessary things like taxes, insurance, and estate planning. The goal with the earth element of your money is to build structure and stability and to create consistency with good money habits and systems. This is the provider energy that I talk about in my book, Provider Money, Pleasure Money. It's your foundation and it's absolutely necessary. Back when I first started my financial coaching practice, I believed that if my clients just followed the plan that we created together, they'd get results. And it's true, if they followed it. But as I quickly learned, sometimes having a plan is not necessarily enough. What I started to notice with my clients, and also based on my own checkered past with money, is that people know what to do many of the times, and yet sometimes they still don't do it. Knowledge and financial systems aren't always the problem. And that led me to mastering the second element of money, which is water. This is the emotional side of money. So if you have listened to the very first episode of Money is Emotional, or if you've read my book by the same name, you know my story. I hit financial rock bottom at age 26, despite having an accounting degree. I had all the head knowledge, but I wasn't following through. I knew that people's hearts could hijack their wallets because it happened to me. But the money guru who certified me as a financial coach really didn't talk about the emotional side of money. And on the rare occasion when he did, it was along the lines of, buck up, quit your complaining, and do the right things with money. I knew that this was much easier said than done. And honestly, his drill sergeant approach to money and emotions just wasn't my style. So I began to disassociate from his brand and own my own brand. That is when I stepped into a new identity, and I began introducing myself this way. Hi, I'm Christine Luken, the financial lifeguard. I help people who are drowning financially to get to a safe place and catch their breath, and then I teach them how to swim. Most of my clients weren't drowning financially because they lacked knowledge. They felt like they were drowning because they were fighting against the tide of their emotions. You can have the best plan in the world, but if your emotions are overwhelming you, your plan is going out the window. This is when I really dove into emotional intelligence around money. And at the time, hardly anyone was discussing this in the personal finance space. I used my own personal stories and experience to write my first book, Money is Emotional: Prevent Your Heart from Hijacking Your Wallet. It's a personal finance book for everyone. It includes all of the earth elements we talked about a few minutes ago, things like budgeting, debt reduction, saving and investing. Alongside each of these practical earthy concepts, I also discussed the common emotional pitfalls that keep people from doing what they know. And most importantly, I armed my clients and readers with tangible methods for aligning their emotions with their financial goals rather than fighting against them. I covered topics like emotional spending and avoidance, money shame and anxiety, relationship conflicts around money, and processing emotions instead of reacting to them. Look, money is emotional because we are emotional. We're human. That's part of who we are. And in this phase of my coaching career, I realized that my clients don't need more discipline, typically. They need more emotional intelligence. And I offered that to them in spades. I even launched a course that taught other financial coaches and financial advisors how to help their clients with the emotional side of money. Now, a few years after that, money mindset became the biggest buzzword in the personal finance field. And that led me to our next element, and that is air. This is money mindset. It is all about the thoughts that are going on in your head. So I began researching and became fascinated with the neuroscience of money, how our thoughts shape our financial behavior. The deeper I dove, the more the science proved what I already knew. Our words matter. The words we think, the words we say, and the words we hear. In fact, words, both thought and spoken, frequently trigger the emotions that we feel around money. So you could see we're digging another layer deeper. And I thought, you know what? If I could just create a system that showed people how to permanently change their money mindset, achieving their financial goals would be so much easier. And instead of swimming against the stream of their unconscious thoughts, my clients could discover how to direct the current of their thoughts in a positive direction. And that is when I created my magnetic money mindset system. And around that same time, I stepped into a new identity. I started introducing myself as Christine Luken, financial dignity coach. In fact, financial dignity became the first trademark that I applied for and secured, and magnetic money mindset was the second.
Dare to enter the Wealthy Woman Book Club, where answers exist to forbidden questions, where women of all ages and income secretly gather, where knowledge is shared, where possibilities are explored, where women claim their power. Dare to stay a spell in the Wealthy Woman Book Club. In this place, we lift each other up. In this place, we start dreaming again. In this place, we see financial miracles. In this place, we grow through the glory and the failure. In this place, we step into a new identity. Dare to champion the Wealthy Woman Book Club. We're creating a future where women are financially empowered across the globe. We're creating a future where our daughters stand on equal financial footing with our sons. We're creating a future where we purchase with our principles rather than price tags. We're creating a future where we use the power of money for the benefit of people and the planet. Welcome to the Wealthy Woman Book Club. Dare to come in, woman. Come in. Join us at wealthywomanbookclub.com.
In addition to coaching people on the practical and emotional sides of money, I also showed them how to uncover and heal the root of their limiting financial behaviors, how to rewrite their unhelpful beliefs and their money stories, how to shift their identity and their self-concept with money, and how to create money mantras that actually get results. I realized that if we don't change the way we think about money, we're not going to change the way we feel about it. And if we don't change our feelings, we probably won't change our financial behavior. Because here's the thing, your brain is always looking for evidence to prove your beliefs to be true. Our unconscious mind is so powerful. And if we discover how to harness it properly, we can make massive improvements in our finances and in our lives. Now, you'd think that I'd be satisfied with this comprehensive financial dignity framework that I've created for my clients. They have got some amazing, spectacular results with this framework. But over the past few years, I've undergone a spiritual evolution, and I've begun to see the final layer that was missing, which leads us to the fourth element, and that is fire, which represents the spiritual side of money. This is the newest evolution of my work, but honestly, it's not new to me. My spirituality has always been an integral part of my life, and by extension, part of my personal relationship with money. My spiritual journey has evolved to a place that transcends religious labels. Love is my religion, and the world is my church. My spirituality is no longer compartmentalized. It's not a Sunday church box to check or a weekly Bible study to attend. My spirituality is who I am. It's fully integrated in every breath and every minute of my life. And so it's inevitable that I'm bringing it forward more boldly into my work because I can't keep it separate. And honestly, you can't either. Money takes on your morality and amplifies it. Money is a tool that reflects who you are. It's a mirror. If you're selfish and fearful, you'll do things with money that reflect that, like undertipping the waitstaff and fudging your tax return. If you're loving and generous, you'll do things with money that reflect those traits, like giving generously to charity and doing the right thing, even when it costs you. The spiritual energy that you bring to your money has a profound ripple effect in the world, either positive or negative. You've probably noticed my financial content shifting in this direction over the past few months, especially. There have been more discussions on conscious capitalism and the journey to becoming a more generous and intentional giver. When money aligns with your higher purpose, your financial transactions have a greater positive impact on your family, on your community, and on the world. So you can expect more of this type of conversation in the future. The spiritual aspect of money isn't as cut and dry as the other elements. Like fire itself, it's both exciting and a little scary to explore. A new identity is emerging for me in this space and in my work, where spirituality is front and center alongside with money. A new Substack is coming. A new group experience is coming for women who want to be rich, both spiritually and financially. And I'm going to share all of that with you in the next episode, so make sure you stay tuned for that. So let's think about these 4 elements of money: earth, water, air, and fire. And I want you to consider, are you grounded in practical habits and money systems that work for you? Do you allow your emotions to be expressed without allowing them to negatively affect your finances? Are your thoughts working for you or against you? Are you aligned with a deeper purpose for your financial abundance? Because when all 4 elements are working together, there is great power and true financial dignity. It's what I have cultivated in my own life, and it's what I want for you too. And speaking of the spiritual side of money, I've selected 4 crystal allies to share with you today, one for each of the 4 elements of money. Think of these as gentle, loving reminders of the energy that you're cultivating in your financial life. So the first one is green aventurine. This represents the earth element, which is all about stability and growth. Green aventurine is known as the stone of opportunity and steady growth. It carries a grounded, nurturing energy that supports consistent progress over time. This is your earth element, the practical side of money. Green aventurine helps you stay rooted in your financial plan. It helps you build strong money habits and to trust that small, consistent actions are creating lasting wealth over time. It's a wonderful crystal for reinforcing your financial foundation and increasing your sense of safety and stability. The second one is moonstone for your water element. So moonstone is deeply connected to emotional balance, intuition, and inner awareness. This is the perfect companion for the water element of money, your emotional relationship with your finances. Because moonstone helps you feel your emotions without becoming overwhelmed by them. It encourages reflection rather than reaction, helping you to respond to financial situations with calm and clarity rather than impulse. So if your heart has ever hijacked your wallet, moonstone is a beautiful companion for restoring emotional harmony. All right, so our third crystal is clear quartz, and this is your air element. So this is all about mindset and clarity. So clear quartz is known as the master amplifier. It enhances clarity, focus, and intentional thought. This aligns perfectly with the air element of money, your mindset, your beliefs, and your inner dialogue. Clear quartz helps you to become more aware of the thoughts that you're thinking and the words you're speaking about money, and also about yourself. It supports you in replacing limiting beliefs with empowering ones so that your mindset becomes an asset instead of a liability. This is a powerful crystal for aligning your thoughts to the frequency of financial dignity. And our fourth and final crystal is citrine. And this one represents the fire element. So this is sunshine in a crystal. And when you think about the sun, what is the sun? The sun is basically a ball of fire. So it is the perfect representation of the fire element because citrine carries a warm, vibrant energy of abundance, confidence, and expansion. So citrine reminds you that money is energy and it amplifies who you already are. It supports generosity, joy, and alignment with your values. This helps you to use money as a tool to create positive impact and meaning in your life. So if you're ready to step into a more expansive and purpose-driven relationship with money, citrine is a wonderful crystal ally. So when you combine grounded action, emotional awareness, intentional thinking, and aligned spiritual energy, that's when your money takes on a truly powerful frequency. And if you're someone who loves a tangible reminder, these crystal allies remind you to embody each of these elements in your everyday life and interactions with your finances. So as we wrap up today's episode, I want you to remember this. Your money is not just about the numbers in your personal finance app. It's earth, the practical systems that create stability. It's water, the emotions that influence your behavior. It's air, the thoughts and beliefs that shape your decisions. And it's fire, the spiritual energy and purpose behind how you use it. And here's what I've learned on my own journey. Every level of financial growth required me to expand into a new element, whether I knew it or not. From managing the numbers to understanding my emotions, to rewiring my thoughts, to now aligning my money with my values, my spirituality, and my divine purpose. You don't have to master all four of these elements overnight, but you do need to be honest about where you are and where you're being invited to grow. Because when you bring all four of these elements into alignment, that's when money starts feeling peaceful, powerful, and deeply aligned with who you're becoming. And that is true financial dignity. I hinted at this earlier, but I'll say it again. A new version of me has been evolving behind the scenes and is ready to emerge. A deeper, more expanded expression of the work I've been doing for the last 2 decades. There's a new identity, a new space for us to connect, and a new way for you to experience this work on a whole different level. I'm going to be revealing all of that in the next episode, including details about my new Substack and a brand new group experience that I cannot wait to share with you. So make sure you're subscribed because you don't want to miss what's coming next, especially if you're craving more spiritual fire in your finances. Well, my friend, this is where I leave you for today. If you found wisdom in today's episode, please forward it to a friend and then leave us a review. It helps other people to find the Money is Emotional podcast. Until next time, this is Christine Luken reminding you that you're good enough, you're smart enough, and gosh darn it, people love you, including me. Bye for now.